Training camp has started for the Chicago Bears, and Keenan Allen has already said a lot of good things about Odunze in the media, about how he's ahead of schedule when it comes to route running and development. Odunze, big-time prospect in the 2024 NFL Draft, drafted in the first round to the Chicago Bears to be paired with Caleb Williams. We're getting ready to start fantasy drafts. We're looking at him to start the season. And the thing is, there was a lot of chatter a few months ago when we got into the draft. Now things are starting to get a little bit quiet. But Odunze could be that splash player that we may want to take another look at. And Keenan Allen said some stuff recently that really perked up my ears, and it'll perk up yours as well. But before we dig into that, you need to click that subscribe button. Tap it with the finger on your phone, click it with the mouse on the computer, because we're getting you ready for training camp and for the NFL season. We're going to be looking at Caleb Williams a lot. We'll be looking at Odunze a lot if you're a Bears fan. We're looking at these guys develop this season during training camp, looking at all the clips. Click that button. Stop missing out. But Keenan Allen here has a lot to say. We're going to listen to him, and then we're going to go over the advanced metrics and go over why he's correct about Odunze.
I mean, he's a little bit better than me when I came in. He's faster. I think he comes out his breaks better than I did when I was that young. He looks like more polished than I was as a receiver. I was only on year 2 as a receiver coming into the NFL. So
Keenan Allen was not exaggerating. Odunze is a very good route runner, a very good technician, very explosive, good hands. He's got a lot of upside to his game. When we go back here and look at the stats here, 1,600 yards last year, 13 touchdowns. If you are watching Pac-12 after dark, you were watching him making it rain day in and day out. He was going off every Saturday night, making play in and play out. There were a lot of arguments between him, Marvin Harrison Jr., and Malik Neighbors during draft season and during the season. And then when you look at his advanced metrics, his market share by age there, he's up there with some of the top wide receivers in the 2024 NFL Draft. In age 19 at 15% market share of the passing production there at Washington, 23% at age 20 and 31% last year to put the stamp on things, where Malik Neighbors and Marvin Harrison Jr., they're around the same territory. And then looking at the yards per team pass attempts for Odunze, 2.85 last year, 1.99 at age 20, so not bad. He definitely was hitting some thresholds there with those numbers. But when you look at his average depth of target, you're looking at a wide receiver here that gets downfield, that excels at stretching the field. 15.5 average depth of target. That means he's a deep threat. That means he can get you those splash plays. 13.8 the year prior, 10.2 and 10 the years prior to that. But still, he can get downfield. He can get you yards after the catch. 2.93 yards per route ran. But Odunze is an efficient wide receiver who has a lot of upside to his game. He can splash it downfield. He can get you yards after the catch underneath. He can do it all. His reception perception says, hey, I can do it all. Look at his success rate by routes. Very, 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 very few wide receivers over time light up the route tree in all green. Very few. We're looking at a lot of generational prospects that can't do this. He can stretch it downfield. He can win underneath. He can win on the slants. He can win on the comebacks. 9 routes, he's golden. You're looking at a very good wide receiver prospect that we're kind of overlooking right now that should be getting a lot of buzz going into training camp and into the start of the season. And there's reasons for that. Granted, you got DJ Moore, you got Keenan Allen there as competition. You got a rookie quarterback. A lot of people are worried about that. But look at the size of just athleticism here. 4.45 40-yard dash at 212 pounds. We got speed to burn. We got size. We're not just a one-year dandy at the college level. We have multiple years of being productive. We were dominant. And statistically, comps to Justin Jefferson when you look at the production, athletic specs. So that's also something to look at. Another thing, Justin Jefferson was considered a very good draft prospect when he was coming out. but was overshadowed by some other wide receivers. He's being overshadowed. If you want to look at things with a storyline, that's something you can kind of look at. Not one for one. You'll catch that every year. But when you look at the athletic specs, his RAS score, 9.92, up there. Elite, top tier, vertical, 39 inches. Jumps out the building. And that means we can rise up, and we're also explosive, which means he's going to be explosive off the release, getting in and out of his breaks. And when you're looking at his athleticism here, we're top tier. We're one of the top wide receivers that ever come out for the draft. We got some speed, burst, and everything to go along with it. So that's going to be a game changer for the Chicago Bears, considering what they already have here on the roster. DJ Moore, Keenan Allen. Look at those two wide receivers. DJ Moore did well last year with Justin Fields. We got Caleb Williams. DJ Moore's got some upside, but he needs somebody on the other end, especially for this Bears offense. We got Keenan Allen. We're on the back nine of his career. You can't debate that. Try to debate that, but we are. He's still good. He's still good. He is one of the best route runners of all time, and he is really going to help Odunze and DJ Moore elevate their careers as well. But why can't we be in 3 wide receiver sets a lot? Why can't that happen? Last year, 70.8% of the time. And that's with a Justin Fields offense. We got Caleb Williams now. We're expecting him to do big things there. And if Caleb Williams hits, then of course, Odunze is probably going to be the fall guy there. That's really going to go off. If Odunze comes out and becomes a top tier wide receiver, then you're going to be all over that. You're going to want that on your fantasy teams. And right now, fantasy football, middle of the draft, where the wide receivers are falling off. Sure, you can get a safer wide receiver, but their upside's not there. Their downside's just there as well. Maybe you shoot for that upside. Maybe in 3 wide receiver sets. Maybe he starts getting more opportunity. Maybe this team clicks a little bit more, and he splashes with that upside. Again, all the rookies that hits, they hit like that, and it's not like people were really predicting it or looking forward to it. There was a lot of iffiness there. And looking at him, how many catches, yards, and touchdowns do you think he can get this year? Because it's a what-if scenario. He could have that rookie ramp up because we're counting on 2 rookies for him to be successful. The Bears are too. But long-term upside, it's there. A long-term producer is definitely there. But usually, when these wide receivers hit, they hit year 1, year 2, and if they're going to be generational talents, it's year 1 pretty early into their career. And if Odunze has the X factor, it's going to be right now, and it's going to be soon. Even with this roster fodder there with the wide receivers, Keenan Allen, DJ Moore, not really fodder. They're pretty damn good. They're pretty damn good. But again, you set like a Justin Jefferson or Jamar Chase there in that lineup, you're going to see something different. Can he get to that? Can he get to that? Because people have been arguing over him versus Marvin Harrison Jr. and Malik Neighbors as the wide receiver 1 during draft season. And if you don't believe that is possible for him, then why make those arguments throughout the offseason? I'm pointing this out as a guy that is kind of hanging out in the middle of fantasy drafts right now and redraft that could give you some splash production that is going on the cheap, like round 6 and ADP on Underdog and a little bit cheaper in your basic formats. But still, Odunze is a guy that could splash on you if you're looking for upside, and considering he was drafted in the top 15, and considering where Jackson Smith-Njigba, Zay Flowers and company was going in last year's draft, including Quentin Johnston, he's going at a tremendous discount. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Make sure to hit that subscribe button on the way out. One thing for watching. Catch you on the next video.